Hello. So I was just, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was just here thinking about life. And I've been wanting to do another video since it's been a couple of weeks since I shared another video. But I was asking myself, what? Okay, so everything that's going on right now, to be honest with you, you see my skin color and everything, but it is really, really difficult for me to talk about the experiences that I've had as a child living in this skin, as a human living in this skin. The other day, somebody came to my house to help me out with my daughter. And we were talking about that situation, and the words didn't want to come out of my mouth because it is just so hard to express the pain and the suffering that you see. Even now, I can't even freaking bring the words to my freaking head because it's a lot. It's a lot. It also has to do with the fact that when I was like a teenager, I used to be gung-ho about things. When I believed in something and I saw that something wasn't right, I would just say it. I would just say exactly what I felt. But some of my family members will tell me, that's not ladylike. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be speaking everything that comes to mind. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And now, as a grown-up, with everything that's happening right now, it is very difficult for me to speak. I haven't even posted that much on Instagram or anything like that because I've been literally afraid to speak, because as soon as I say something, it may be like strangers. It doesn't really matter to me because you don't fucking know me, so who cares what you say? But when a family member comes to your posts, somebody that you actually you have love and respect for, and they say, well, you shouldn't be speaking up about these situations, it makes you very uncomfortable, and it makes me very uncomfortable. So this is the thing. For my mom's side, everybody's like light skin. For my father's side, everybody's like dark skin. So on my mom's side, me and my sister are the two darkest ones. And we will get really picked on because of our hair, because of our color. I am way older than my sister, so what I experienced it by myself. And I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's just, I've cried about this a lot, and I have worked on this a lot, because these situations when people pick on you and they bully you and there's like nobody to protect you or nobody to say, stop, don't do that. It's really difficult for me to talk about this, to put it out there in the world. But I guess it's going to be a way of me releasing it and letting it go and just not worry about what anybody's going to say. I'm sure that some people in my family have had their experiences because of their skin color and because of everything that happens throughout, life. So yeah, I'm saying a lot of ums, but I want to talk about it. I want to tell you. All right. So this is that. I have, it's like I don't want to complain. I don't want to talk bad about people. But I have like two cousins. One I really love a lot. The other, I love her and stuff, but I don't see her. I hardly talk to her. They are both, well, one, she can pass as white. She has blue eyes, blonde hair. And that's the thing about my mom's side of the family. It's like a freaking rainbow. We have a whole bunch of different people, Salvadorian, Haitian, Polish, God knows what else, but whatever. So my cousin says that she doesn't see any color. And I was just like, I was not going to write anything on her post because I really don't have time for that. It's like, shit, man, this is really, this is really hard. Like, to live and your own family looks at you like you are the help. They don't look at you like you are a human, that you are somebody capable, somebody that matters. But no, they look at you like you are the help. You're here to, to help them because you are the mammy. To experience that, it's so painful because it comes from your own family. One thing is to have it from society, but then you go out to society and it's the same shit too. And then you go into your family and it's the same shit. So you have like nowhere to go. And, and then from my other side of the family, which is my father's side, they're overachievers. Like all of them, they're overachievers. They all, like, my dad is a doctor. My mom is a doctor too, but my dad is a doctor. My uncle is a lawyer. He's an economist. He's a teacher. And what, God knows what the, what the hell he is. My aunt, she knows like 4 different types of languages and whatnot. And then I have cousins that are engineers and lawyers and blah, blah, blah. And they're doing big things and and they're going for it. And then I come to this side of the family and I'm having all these emotional issues. This is me being a child. This is me being a teenager and me having all these emotional issues. And then going to this side of the family and people looking at you like, so what are you doing? Like, so what are your accomplishments? And you think to yourself like, I am highly depressed. I am highly depressed and I believe I don't matter in the world. Like, how do I manage that? How do I do that? So it's just like, okay, so I'm not enough too, besides the fact that I don't matter. And what else? I don't matter. I'm not enough. All the shits. So yeah. I really, like what I like when I was a little girl, and I used to see people fighting. I used to want to make peace and try for everyone to come together and for all of us to get along, and for those of us that need to improve, and for those that needed to get what they deserved to get what they deserved. But some people are going to be people, and they're not going to want to change because it's work. It's work, and it takes time to look at yourself and to realize that there's certain things that need to be corrected. And sometimes people don't want to do that. They want to deny, deflect, and ignore the issue, thinking that it's going to go away by itself, but it's not. It's never going to go away by itself. It has to start with you. It has to start with yourself. It has to start with you realizing that there's things that you need to change. And the fact that I felt so lonely for a long time in my life gave me the opportunity to just like always analyzing myself, because I was actually always analyzing myself because I used to get criticized a lot. And I was like, okay, so what did I do wrong? And I always try to be better, but it was never enough. And I don't even know how to explain that shit. So it is very difficult. It is very difficult. It doesn't make any sense. It's a really messy video. It has no beginning and end. It's just me telling you, however possible I can, how I feel and everything that I have experienced. And it's just that I don't want to like lash out like, oh, this person did this to me. Or people like, there was a family member that I love, and this family member loves me, but they don't like black people. They don't like black people at all. And this family member used to tell me that I wasn't black, that yo era India Canela, that I was not black. Like it was something wrong with that. That I was indigenous, you know, like cinnamon color. Yeah, my color is kind of cinnamony, but, you know, it's just that fucks with somebody's head. The fact that you're being told that you are not this because they have this major issue with people that are dark-skinned. And, you know, it affects your brain. If it affects the way you think about yourself. It gives you an automatic thought like, you know, there's something wrong with me because I can't acknowledge who I am, on top of the fact that no one looks like me, and I'm being treated different because I don't look like them, because I don't look a certain way, and I like them, but I don't look a certain way. I'm being treated different, and not different in the good sense of priority and privilege. No, I'm being treated different as in less, as in, you know, you're not good enough, or you don't matter, or you are just here to be the help. And when you grow up with those things, I've had to work really hard, and I guess I still have to work about it, because these past few days, that wound has been wide open, and I just haven't had the weight of how to deal with it. Like, okay, I thought I had finished healing this part of me, but I guess I haven't. So it is painful to have to come back and just acknowledge the fact that because of the color of my skin, within my own family, I have been treated differently. And, to hear somebody in my family say, you know, Haitians or black people are animals. And I look at them and I say, okay, so that means that you're a fucking animal too, because your grandma is African. Don't fucking forget that. No, not my grandma. Your great grandmother was African, and don't forget it. Like, you have that inside of you. So you're calling those parts of you animal. But I'm the type of person that I'm not going to argue with anybody. I will not argue with you. The moment that I feel that things are about to escalate to an argument, I will let that shit go, and I will tell you, you are right. Go on, do you. Live your best life. Because I am not here to take you out of your error. It's something that has to come from you. I've learned that a long time ago. There was a time that I wanted to take people out of their way of thinking. It was that I wanted to take people out of their... Is there such word, ironic? No, that's ironic. Never mind. I wanted to change people's way of thinking. Sometimes I would say, okay, this person, the way they think is kind of not the best way to think. And I would want to help, and it will turn out into an argument because people want to be right no matter what. They will, well, at least some of the people that I've been around, they want to be right. They have to be right. They have to know everything. They have to be right. And I just said, you know what? I got to let people live their lives however they want to live it. And then they have to decide on their own when they want to say, okay, well, this is not really working out for me. And the way that I'm thinking is not actually correct. It's an error. It's an error. So I don't know how this video is going to come out, but this is just a messy video. To see everything, and I've been skeptical as well. I'm always is what's really happening here? But that wound has been open, and it is painful to remind myself of all of the loneliness throughout my whole fucking childhood and teenage life and 20s. And I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn how to love myself, because no one was gonna love me the way that I wanted to be loved. Not my father, because my father is an overachiever, and he wanted me to perform at a certain level that my fucking emotions didn't let me perform, because I'm not living with him, I'm living with somebody else, and you expecting things of me that I can't fucking give you right now. So yeah, it is very hard. I'm laughing and everything, but it is it is like, okay, I'm seeing all the statues going down. I'm seeing all these things happening. And yet all I can think about is like my childhood. And I want to let it go. And I will let it go. But it's just open, like when they talk about racism and prejudice and all that stuff, all of that just went whoop, open again. You gotta deal with it again. Here it is. Remember that time when you were in school and you were the only black girl and they used to make fun of you. And guys, when you were 12 and 13, they didn't want to look at you because you were black and they didn't like you. And the girls would think you were manly because you were black. And you were the only black girl in the school or in the class. And you were looked at different, treated different. And you have to go back and deal with all these things again. It is fucking painful. I wish like we all said, okay, we are gonna treat each other equally. We are humans. You're a dark-skinned human. I'm a light-skinned human. And you deserve to have opportunities that I have. My heart hurts right now. So yeah. It's been 23 minutes already. Anyway. People say speak up, but I want to say this to those people that don't speak up sometimes. Maybe it's because they've been told so many times that don't talk about that. That it's something that we can't talk about. Or this subject is off the table. You can't talk about that. And then people are talking about it. You know how hard that can be? Because they've been told so many times to shut the fuck up. Your voice doesn't count. You've been told so many times, like, you know, what you have experienced doesn't really matter. So shut the fuck up. You know, there's more important things in life than what you are going through right now, so you need to be quiet. And that's just my experience. You know, I'm not gonna talk about, I got stories, yeah, but I'm not gonna talk about whatchamacallit. Anyway, I'm not even sure that I'm going to post this video, but it's good therapy. Yep, good therapy. Good therapy. Because who do I talk to about these things? Who do I talk to about these things if again, it's like hard to say it, to talk about it, at least for me. And I'm sure there's like a lot of people that are like this, that it's really hard for them to talk about these things because there's a thing within Hispanic community where you don't talk about shit. When I was growing up, nobody spoke to me about sex. Nobody spoke to me about money. Nobody spoke to me about relationships. Nobody spoke to me about anything about life. Nothing. Nobody talked to me. Nobody had a sit down with me. Nobody told me, listen, Elsa, this is how life is. This is how things work out. This is how money is. This is how relationship works. This is how men work. This is how women work. Like, I had to figure all of it out on my own, fucking it all up, making a lot of mistakes, and just, taking it like a woman, dealing with my outcomes. And, I hurt people hurt me, and whatnot. But nobody sat down, nobody talks about things. People just don't want to talk about things. People want to ignore, deflect, deny, and pretend that things are going to disappear. And that is a whole lot of BS. That's not the way things are going to get fixed. You have to acknowledge that there is a situation that needs to be corrected, amended, fixed, healed, however you want to look at it, in order for things to move forward. And this is on a personal level, what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is on a personal level. Imagine in a generalized level. So there's like a no one talked to me about anything. No one. One thing somebody talked to me about was God's love. That was like a hint. That was helpful, But and then throughout the years, I learned about self-love and self-love is very important. Yes, it is. Very important. Self-love, and not the self-love that's narcissistic, like, oh yeah, like everything is about me and fuck everybody else. No, it's self-love as in, I matter. I have to understand that this happened to me and it's a process for certain things to happen. I'm not even sure how to explain it yet, but I'll figure it out. Yes. I feel better. feel so much better. Let's see if I have the courage to share this video with the rest of the world. Yeah. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. However, I understand sometimes it's not easy to speak up because we are so used to not acknowledging things and just be like, shh, you shouldn't talk about that. You know, those are off the table subjects, but not anymore. At least I think. I don't know what's going to happen, because one day people are saying one thing and then another day the other side is saying another thing. And if you pay attention to this back and forth, it will fucking drive you crazy. So you have to take a step back and just try to acknowledge who you really are and what you stand for, and stick to that, and stick to improving yourself, stick to doing things that are actually going to make you better, because everything starts with you. You become better, the world also becomes better. You heal, the world also heals.